Hello everyone and welcome to Conversations in the Wine Cellar. I'm your host, Tony Massey. This is the relationship show that we talk about everything. We talk about dating, we talk about cheating, we talk about everything that's involved with relationships here in the Wine Cellar. Now, on this episode, we're going to tackle something that I think is very important. We're going to answer the question, can you turn a side chick into a wife? Can you marry your side chick? When we come back, I'm going to bring in my illustrious panel, and we're going to tackle that question and figure out, can it be done? Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back to Conversations in the Wine Cellar. As promised, I have assembled my illustrious panel. Very talented, very beautiful people here. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves, starting over here to my right with Amber Neal. Go ahead and tell them who you are and what do you do.
I am Amber Neal. I am Houston's Millionaire Matchmaker, professional comedian, and TV producer.
I'm Don Heath, the founder of Star Radio and host of Don Heath Talk Radio Show.
Awesome.
I'm James Williams, a former NFL player and author of A Man Starts Strictly from the Soul.
I'm Monique Williams. I am a corporate attorney and a life coach.
And I am Kivia Jones, CEO and founder of Queenland Studio.
They bad, ain't they? I told you I brought some bangers. I brought some very intelligent people. So we're going to have a conversation today. If you haven't had the opportunity yet, make sure you go to Amazon.com and pre-order my book, A Man's Guide to a Successful Affair. It's going to drop November the 10th, 2017. You cannot miss this. And pulling right from the pages of my book, we're going to discuss a topic that I think is very important. We're going to try to answer the question, can a side chick be a wife? Not a wife, but the wife. Okay, I already answered the question. Now, before we get into the discussion, Keith and I were talking, and she has a very interesting perspective, so I'm going to pass the floor to her, and she's going to tell her story, and then, put you out there. You can tell your story, and then we're going to talk about you behind your back. Go ahead and do that.
That's fine. So I have to answer the question, and I'll add something to it. I do believe the side chick can become the wife, but can it be successful is the question. I'd like to think that you get them how you lose them. So, of course, you can become the wife, but can you stay the wife? Can you be successful in that position? I dated a guy, and when I met him, he told me he was going through a divorce. Now, in that moment, I should have took it as a red flag, but I didn't. Fell into it, feelings got all hyped up, and let's just say, we ended up moving in together about 6 years. Let's just say 6 years later, he's still not divorced.
Wow, imagine that.
So, okay, first of all, I can imagine there are a lot of women out there going, girl, I've been there. So let's talk about it. What do we think? So you found yourself in a situation where you were dating someone who said that they were going to get divorced. So you guys were dating.
We were living together.
You were living together?
Yeah.
Wow. So was she deceived more than just the idea that he was going to get divorced? Did she walk into this in the middle of deception? James, you're chopping at the bit.
You know, I could wait on it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think she was so much deceived. She wasn't honest enough with herself.
Right.
Because you have to put yourself in a position to say, this is enough, and this is where we're going to be. And if that doesn't happen, walk away.
Got it.
Right.
Amber?
Self-love is the best love. You know, broken attracts broken. And a lot of times you don't know why you're attracted to the broken people. But a lot of it's just dishonesty. But it's really about people doing what they want to do and people doing what you let them.
Right. I agree.
Don, I know you got respect.
Say, man, if you ain't got a divorce decree, we can't talk at all.
And I think that's important. You have to have that paper signed, right? Otherwise, technically, you're still
And
married.
show me the paper, don't tell me.
Show-
Right.
That's why.
This day and time, like, for real,
Yeah.
a young lady I was really interested in, she was like, she can go pull a record up herself. I'm about to show it to you. You can go to this public record.
So she's looking for it.
Yeah, you go look for it. But she thought I was lying. I said, there you go. Boom, right there.
I want to bring an attorney in here, and now I know this is your husband, but don't bite your tongue. Tell me what you think, Monique.
Well, I think the side chick is just that, a side chick. And we'll talk about that a little bit more, but I think there's a reason why she's called a side chick.
Like collard greens on the table.
Yeah.
All right. Now, as we always do, we know that men and women speak differently depending on who's in the room. So I'm going to break this panel up. I'm going to get the men in one room, get all the ladies in another room, and we're going to tackle this subject and figure out, can the side chick successfully become the wife? And we're going to answer that question with some man talk and some queen conversations. Now, here we are once again by ourselves, so now y'all can keep it real. You ain't gotta lie because all them ladies around. So we talking about, can the side chick be the wife?
No.
Now, see, before you say, yeah, everybody in here? All right, cool.
No, you got to put your money out there.
I
Man.
just
You
said
know,
that. It's
check all that
I
money,
put mine in there.
man. Become yours.
It's
Check all that money, man.
Can she be the wife? That's the topic at hand. So she's been the side chick. She's done her job. She stayed in the low. He finally leaves his wife. Can she take over?
No.
Why? What's stopping her? Okay, but you got to give me more than that. Why can't she?
Because, I mean, you were just playing around with me when I was playing with my wife, so how I know you'll never play with me with somebody else?
Well, maybe she cheated on her for very different reasons, and now he's ready to be faithful to the woman that he's been cheating with.
Yeah, but I mean, even though you were cheating with me with my wife,
Right.
not my girlfriend, not my little booty call, this is my wife.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can never take you serious.
But I was cheating too.
I was cheating too, yeah, but you knew your role. She knew her role.
Now she's ready to step up to the next level.
Okay? I'm not saying she can't get married. She just can't get married to me.
Okay.
Can't get married to me.
What you say?
Well, I feel like at the point that you lowered your standard to be with me and took that being the side chick, I just don't
That's
think
mine.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you're not going to trust me in
Right.
the long run. I just don't think there's any trust there, because if you believe this lie that I'm going home every night and I don't like my wife and I'm still with her all this time and it's cool for you, then that's not going to be cool for me if I'm a smart man. You know, your principles are not at all for me.
Okay, let me ask this. So let's say you knew that the side chick knew that she was a side chick.
Okay.
So it wasn't like I'm lying about the whole situation. It's not like I'm lying to
You know what
you.
again, fellas.
I'm lying to you, but I'm not lying to anyone else. Why can't we make that transition now? I mean, that's the whole way I got you. I told you I was leaving my wife.
You settled. And it's and you know what? I'll give you this. Just call them what kind of man you are. Because if you want somebody that settles, then that's just what you're going to have.
So are you punishing her for being with you?
No, I'm punishing myself.
No, but it sounds like you're saying that she settled.
But yeah, she did settle.
So now
she
she's
did
no
settle
longer
for being
good enough.
another woman. No, but if you could just be in that role that long and just be okay with borrowed time, come on, man. What does that say about us?
To play on you.
What does that say about us? I'm gonna get my money.
I see what you're saying. I guess I just have a problem with the idea that all of a sudden, like I could cheat with you, but I can't be with you.
Yeah, you was good enough to sleep with. You
That's
was good
it.
enough to go party with. To have a good time with.
You knew the assignment. You knew the assignment when it was.
Yeah,
You should play the card, though.
Yeah, play the card, yeah.
You knew the
You
assignment.
knew what the assignment
You knew the
was.
assignment was. I'm crying and you ready.
Yeah, I love you, and I want this to work out. How's it gonna work
Then why
out?
would she even do it in the first place?
That's her
Because
fault. That's something you gotta ask her.
So you're gonna put the responsibility on her?
That's her fault.
Okay, then why tell the lie?
Okay, if now you done opened up a whole nother can of worms.
That's what
If
we're
I-
doing now.
Oh, if I was not lying to her and told her I was married, this is
No.
my situation.
You never told her that you weren't married.
Okay.
But what you did, lie to her and tell her we're gonna be together. Just hold on. Baby, just hold on. Let me get this divorce final, and you and I are gonna be together. Even though you knew you had no intentions of doing it.
Well, I changed my mind. Life goes on.
Well, number one, if a guy does do that, I can't put myself, because I wouldn't just lie and say, I'll tell you up front, you ain't gonna make it.
Right.
You know what I mean? We just what we doing.
Right.
But if he did lie and say that, how could you expect him to be truthful when he was lying to his wife being with you?
Now, is there any fear that she's not gonna be a good main woman because she's proven that she can cheat?
I mean,
Like, can you trust her?
I'm not saying she can't. She can probably be a good woman, but she's just not the good woman for me.
So she could be somebody else.
She can
probably be a really good wife.
She'll be a good
She
wife
just
for somebody.
learned
She
something.
just, I just taught her how to do certain things, certain ways, and certain timing. But she just can't be my wife.
Okay, so right now we're talking about side chicks, but I think there's a difference between a side chick and a mistress, in my opinion. And the difference between those two for me is that a side chick does not require maintenance.
Oh, no.
Whereas a mistress does.
I agree.
A mistress requires some type of financial motivation to keep her mouth.
You have invested.
You've invested in her.
You have invested something into a mistress.
Absolutely. So can a mistress, someone who you gave her an apartment, you bought her clothes, you doing all this other stuff, can she eventually be the wife?
Yes, because the rules are different.
So
The
but she's
rules are
still
different.
cheating.
No, the rules are different. If you the mistress, ain't nobody else going to the apartment or the house where you living at. Nobody else is riding in that car, and you are at my beck and call whenever I call, and you are always available. A side chick is not always available.
So does that mean that if a man eventually leaves his wife, he can easily roll the mistress into that role as wife? He'll trust her because she played the role correctly?
Well, I was coming in to see if y'all wanted some more wine until I overheard the
You
food.
didn't come in.
Well, you didn't accept
No,
we do need some more wine.
Let me learn y'all a thing or two. See, you have the side chick, you have the mistress, and you have the other woman.
There's three?
There's three. It's levels to this. But see, it has a lot to do with the lies that y'all may tell her. See, the other woman, she's not the side chick. She gets the same privileges as the wife gets because you've led her to believe she's equal, right? Right. Side chick, she comes in handy if wife, maybe y'all not on the best of terms or you just want to experience something new for the night. That's what she's for, to know her role and play her part. Mistress, nobody knows of and never heard of. She's available when you make her available. Got it?
All right.
Okay.
I don't know why keep coming and talking about some doggone. Oh, we need some wine. She gonna teach us something. She should have bought us some sandwiches.
That's what
some
she should. That's what I'm talking about. You gonna come in and interrupt grown men talking.
Talk about she gonna teach us something. I'm gonna teach her how to fix a sandwich. Fat boy way.
If you are getting married in your 20s, where you evolve to as a man in the marriage changes for a lot of men.
Okay.
Because of what you haven't seen and what you have not been through. And women evolve differently from a lot of men. They grow, things change, they change inside as women, and we think the same old thing we've been doing is okay with them. And so then we get other interests, and we didn't even talk to our wife about, is this interesting to them?
Right. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we don't counsel each other the way women do. You know, a lot of times women will if they go through something traumatic, if they go through something traumatic, then they have each other to counsel. But when we go through traumatic things, we don't sit and talk to each other.
Now, that word of preach.
You know, we really we force each other to stay away from those feelings, and so we keep the same mindset even though we go through these traumatic things.
Because if you don't talk to other men who've experienced this about cheating within a marriage, how do you grow from it, you will just keep going through your own process.
Right.
Which your process is really slim and none because you've been married.
Absolutely.
And so what men say when you're from the country, oh, get you another woman, you just tell her this how I go,
Right.
and this and that.
Right.
Because where I grew up at, my daddy was married and was dating the lady around the corner. I thought that was my aunt.
Imagine that.
Wow. I tell you what, give me the card, man, because y'all took all my money. Look, that's mine.
I'm gonna tell you, not me.
That's mine.
I'm gonna ask you, man. I'm just tell you like this. Don't be the side chick.
The side chick is losing. I mean,
Don't be the side
because
dude.
at the end of the day, you know why? The biggest reason I think most men don't get a divorce and stay with the side chick instead of the mistress or whatever, because the side chick gets comfortable and the man is married and doesn't want to give up half. And if he can stay married and not lose, you got to understand a man's financial obligations,
Yeah.
why he does not want to get divorced.
Good point.
It's cheaper than cave.
Well, I tell you what's not gonna be cheap. When I whoop y'all behind on this card table, I'm about to take all y'all money.
Wait, tripping, you gotta
Just hand it up. I'm doubling it up. Just the blues. I don't even know what that is.
I'm gonna catch a Uber. So I ain't much time.
So I'm going to refill the men's glasses of wine, right? Walk in on them talking foolishness about side chicks and other women. All type of things, as if they don't mislead the women to believe that she's just important. What y'all think about
You
that?
said men and foolishness, so I already figured.
Exactly.
Well, but sometimes women like to be side chicks.
That is
That's
so
true.
And
That's
sometimes
true.
men are actually honest with them about who they are. But oftentimes women, we hear what we want to hear.
But when do you cut it off? Who decides that, okay, you don't want to go any further than a side chick? I've given you enough time, enough money. I've invested enough in you and your bills and everything else. Who cuts it off?
Well, I think at the point that one determines that they are a side chick, it needs to be cut off at that point.
But why is it that the men
Let me
feel
tell
like
y'all
they need to lie about?
The biggest thing though is you. You got to look out for you and treat you like you treat them, because I counsel women all the time in matchmaking that are 40, 50, 60. They spent their 20s, 30s, and 40s being the side chick. Now they can't get a man to save their life.
Exactly.
Now they're asking little young boys if they want some Jordan. I mean, you know, that's just how it is nowadays. And it's like you have to be true to yourself, because you can't get that time back. And people do what you let them.
Now, but we're assuming that side chicks want to be wives. There are some women
There
that
are
want
some,
to just be
and
a
they
side
feel
chick.
like that's the route to go. But are they taking the cheap route?
But look at the generation under 25 though. They literally don't even really believe in marriage anymore.
That's true.
So side chick is easy because it's all about me and I could give a damn about anybody else.
And it's
Absolutely.
easy.
Exactly.
It's easy.
There's no commitment
Yeah.
on their part either.
And you say taking a cheap route, what do you mean?
I say taking the cheap route because you kind of get in the side door in order to get in the main house.
But there's no obligation, there's no cooking, you ain't got to clean, none of that.
Not when he at your house. When he come to my house, I do.
But you know how you were talking about like the different levels to the game, right?
Right.
The other woman, the side chick, and the mistress.
Mhm.
A lot of that too is the woman's motives when she gets in the relationship.
Right.
Is she a baller and she wants to be kept?
She
then
just might want the
she
perks.
don't mind.
Yeah.
So it's really about her motives just as much as his. And like you said in the beginning, the same way you get them is the same way you lose them. I experienced that firsthand with my parents. My parents were both married when they met each other, allegedly separated, for disclaimer. But then they, wind up getting together, getting married, 20 years together, built successful businesses, had 3 kids together. Then my dad and my mom's best friend hooked up. They left each other's spouses for each other. And now this is really going to give you chills, okay? This really
Okay.
put me in perspective on karma and how you treat people. So the day my mom found out, she called her best friend. She's like, I know what's up. I know that was you. And she's like, it might be in 10 years from now, but something will happen to you in the form of one of your kids for what you did to me and my daughter.
Indeed.
Flash forward 10 years later, my stepbrother got killed in a car accident.
Wow.
And then she got MS. She's in horrible health.
Well, one thing we can agree on is that karma is real. I think we can toast to that.
Karma
That
is real.
is definitely real. Definitely real. I just think you just have to get to a point where you know what you want.
Yeah.
You know what you want. And as women, we have to love ourselves. You have to know what you want. And you just got to understand that if it's not your man, it's just not your man.
And let me just say something, because a lot of times there are women that go into relationships, they want the other woman's man, but they don't realize all the stuff that wife had to go through. That man has not been in that same place all that time. It took
Right.
prayer for a lot of women working with their husbands, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So
Patience.
what you see is the end product. You don't see what that wife did
That's what they
to
say.
help get to that end product.
They're trading
Right.
that 80 for that 20.
Everybody wants the prize, but they're not willing to go the
Absolutely.
race. Because you don't know what I had to go through in order to get my man or to keep him.
But build the friendship. At the end of the day, if people just build their, what do you
Do you need something?
Huh?
Huh? No.
Nah.
No, you're spying on us.
Nah,
You're
spying on
trying to get information. But that's it.
I ain't saying nothing I want to hear.
Yeah, because
Because you probably exactly who we talking about.
He said he don't want to hear nothing about friendship. He don't ever want to hear nothing about
We was
friendship.
dropping straight facts, and it's something that y'all. Can I say something real quick? Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
Now, one thing that I did hear y'all talk about, which I thought was interesting, is the woman who desires to only be a side chick.
Okay.
I'm not sure I agree with that. I don't think that there are women out there who want to be number 2 and
yeah,
never
there
number
are.
1. But what's her motivation?
It's convenient.
How is it convenient to
They're
how is it
damaged.
convenient
They're heartbroken.
to sit and wait for someone to call you in order for you
They
to be with
sit
them?
waiting.
They're
They're talking to
waiting.
other man's husband.
So they're sleeping with other people as well?
You have women that are doing that, but you also have the man that's feeding her. He's feeding the emotions. So she's on a high. She's full.
That's
And
right.
every time her tank runs low or almost empty, guess what? He's going to come back and refuel that.
That's
so
right.
she's never running too low to where she feels as
That's
if
right.
she's second. She feels just as good as wife does.
So are you comfortable saying that the onus when it comes to cheating is on the woman?
It's on
who's
both.
willing
It's
to
on
cheat?
both. It's on both.
I think that if you remove the person to cheat with, then you thereby take away the cheater.
But then you still have the cheating qualities.
True, but you got nobody to cheat
But
with.
that's a whole issue
May
of
not
women
hurt,
not
but
being
another
united
person.
and not
Exactly.
being willing to look out for the other women and
Right.
being so selfish, like that's the last man on the planet,
Right.
you know?
And then it has a lot to do with us settling too. We allow a man to think that, okay, Tuesdays and Thursdays work for me,
Right.
and the other days I'm okay with you being
Well, they made a
home.
song about it. The woman that says she's good with just the weekend.
That's true, but that's because she was able to profit off of something that's been going on for forever.
Exactly.
That may not even be her lifestyle, but
That's
if
right.
that's what's going on, let me capitalize. Why not?
Well, I gotta get back to my card game, but I'm gonna tell you right now that what I heard was it's y'all's fault. I'm out.
You wasn't even thirsty.
You just don't want to accept the friendship
How
part.
can he
That's
come
all.
in here like he
I
wanted?
know.
He wasn't even
I know.
thirsty.
You don't wanna hear the
He didn't even open the bill.
But you know what, guys, it is hard for men to believe there are some women out there who like to play the field just as much as they do.
But
Women
it's
are like
true.
men in
It's
every
so true.
sense of the word nowadays. I
Yeah.
mean, women's love is great for equal rights and pay and
Right.
voting. Women literally stick around just like men nowadays.
Right.
It's the same.
And it may be cheaper to keep him only in that capacity.
Look at
It
Mary
is
J.
really
Blige
money.
right now. Now he wants another $30,000 a month
True.
on what she earned. Really?
Out of her own
So
pocketbook.
I'm telling you, women's love is great, but we have reversed it, and now we got side dudes, and now we're paying alimony. Wow.
Well, I'm sure we could talk about this all day outside of being rudely
Yes,
interrupted. But
right.
thank y'all, ladies. We'll have to talk about get together, talk
Cheers
about
to
this.
girls.
Cheers to that.
Yes. All right.
Wow. So I tell you what, people get real when they're by themselves, at least when they think they are. Thank you so much for joining us with Conversations in the Wine Cellar. And I'm going to put it right back to my panel one more time just to get a final answer on the question. The question is, can a side chick become the wife? So I'm going to start over here to my right and work my way to my left, starting with Amber Neal. She is the matchmaker extraordinaire and also the owner of Amber Neal Productions. Amber, what do you think? Yes or no?
Nope.
No, okay. Don Hilliard, the talk show host of this show, Don Hilliard Show. What do you say, sir?
I still say no.
Still say no. Okay.
Say no.
Right behind me again, Kiva Jones, who is the CEO. I get so flustered when I say your title because I'm just so impressed. The CEO of Queenland Studios and also teaching people to live Queenish. What do you say?
Yes.
Yes, you can do it. Okay. Former NFL football player and author and poet extraordinaire, James Williams. What do you say, sir? Can the side chick become the wife?
No, no, and no.
3 no's, okay. And to his left, Monique Williams, his beautiful wife, attorney, as well as a
Life coach.
life coach. I keep wanting to say motivational speaker.
Same.
Life coach. What do you say?
Absolutely not.
No. Okay, so we have a very array of answers. Yeah, everyone is saying something different. My thought process is if you go into a situation under deception, then you're always going to be under deception. There's no way you can turn a side chick into a wife because trust is never going to be established. That's just my opinion. Now, does it happen? Sure. But ultimately, it's going to have to be up to those people. Now, I suggest right now what you do, and I think we can give universal yeses on this one, go to Amazon.com, order your copy of my book, A Man's Guide to a Successful Affair. It's available for pre-order right now on Kindle as well as the hard copy. You can get it November the 10th is when it's going to ship out to you. You need to read this book. I think it's going to give some people a lot of insight, and I think people are going to enjoy it. I want to thank my panel again. Thank you guys so much. You guys have fun?
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. We're going to see you next time in Conversations in the Wine Cellar. Thank you so much.